Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have Angela joining us. Hi, Angela.
Hello, Amanda.
Guys, we got an exciting video. We're going to answer the question, are we always manifesting or not? So we've got some really exciting success stories. Angela's going to share one of our personal ones, as will I. And Hey guys, Angela's available for coaching. She's having a sale. Link is in the description below. She's going to be able to help you find your blocks, clear up your mental diet, get your results fast, clear up any questions you may have, as well as I have a course out, create the relationship you love. It's about recreating anybody that you have a relationship with, whether it be somebody, a crush, or anybody you know that you want to transform that relationship. So yeah, and guys, we're having a contest. We get to 100,000 subscribers. We're giving away 3 free coaching sessions, one to 3 different people. So 3 sessions, 1 each, right? 3 people. And all you need to do to enter is subscribe, share our videos, as well as, comment. What have you manifested using the law of assumption or even the law of attraction, whichever you prefer? Let's share some hope and inspiration, because maybe something that you manifested easily, somebody's struggling with, and they can see that it's possible for them. So, and you know what? It's always great to fill our day and our mind and our thoughts with positive things for ourselves and others, because really what we intend for another, we really intend for ourselves. So, let's keep that positivity and that inspiration going. So yes, welcome, Angela. I'm excited. I love this story. We talked about it a little bit already, so I'm excited to hear it again.
Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I wanted to talk about, are we always manifesting? Because I see people ask that question, or I see people comment, I'm done manifesting. It doesn't work for me, or I don't think it's effective in my life. But, really, we are always manifesting. There's no on-off switch, because that's the way the law works. It's always happening. And I had a couple examples in my own life from many years ago when I knew nothing about law of assumption. But I can look back and I can reflect that definitely my thoughts played out in my reality. And this particular circumstance is about my son. So he's 23, so it's a long time ago. And when he was born, he was a healthy weight, healthy size, everything good, healthy baby. And we went in at 2 weeks for typical checkup, weight check, all of that. And he had not gained his birth weight back. And that's unusual because babies, they gain their weight quickly, they surpass that birth weight quickly, but my son had not. And the doctor wasn't terribly concerned. She wanted me to increase feedings and things like that. But I, as the mother, I got myself very worked up. I became very upset, fearful, nervous, and I kind of got myself in a cycle of thinking, why won't this baby gain weight? And something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. And we would go in every month and they would weigh him. And he was just by tiny increments, a few ounces at a time, gaining weight, but very slowly. And I just really began spiraling downward, becoming more anxious, more worried. I had no idea, I was thinking negative things, didn't realize, but just began to worry more and more and more. What is wrong? Why won't he gain weight? What is wrong? What is wrong? And sure enough, at about 6 months, when we went in to have that weight check, he had, during this particular month, gained no weight, just was at a standstill. And then I had the doctor right there looking me in the eye saying, your baby has gained no weight, something's wrong, which I had that in my mind for weeks and months, and there right before my face it played out. So we had to schedule testing for him. And there were all sorts of things, diseases, things that she told me they were looking for, things that you don't want to be looking for. And needless to say, now I was very upset, very scared. I wasn't just trying to get him to gain weight, but now I'm contemplating, what could be wrong. So just, I think, as a way of soothing myself, because I, like I said, I did not know what my thoughts were doing. I didn't realize what they were doing. I began to tell myself, he's okay. He's going to be okay. Whatever they find, whatever shows up, whatever's going on, we're going to deal with it. They're going to be able to treat it. It might be medicine. It might be a treatment. Whatever. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Because I was just so adamant, so passionate about my baby that he was going to be okay. And so I just began to saturate my thinking with those thoughts, just because I was not going to accept anything different. He's going to be okay regardless. So we had about a 3-week window from the time we went in to see the doctor to the scheduled appointment. There were about 3 weeks in there. And just constantly, I would just, it would come into my mind, it'll be okay. I don't care what's going on. It'll be okay. He's going to be okay. And about 2-3 days before that visit, one evening, as I was getting him ready for bed, rocking him and kind of looking at him and interacting, and he was, looking at me, smiling, reaching, doing all the things that a baby would do and you would expect them to do. I remember thinking, he's okay. He's fine. He's going to be fine. He's fine. He's healthy. In fact, there's nothing wrong. And in that moment, I just had this peace and calm come over me, and I just knew he was okay. I had so saturated my thinking, it had sunk in, and I just knew he was okay. And, of course, we continued with our appointment. I did what I needed to do. I followed the doctor's directions, and we went into the appointment, and we were there like an entire morning, went through all of the testing and everything. And about a week later, the doctor called and had all of her results. And she said, everything has come back negative. We can't find anything wrong. By all accounts, he's a very healthy baby, other than little, his size. And I wasn't surprised. I already knew in that moment when I had looked at him and had that peace, I knew he's okay. He's fine. And I think we ended up working with a speech therapist, and we did a few things to help his swallowing and such. But he grew out of it. He gained weight, and he is today a very healthy, tall, 23-year-old young man. So those 2 examples are things that happened when I had no idea what my thoughts were doing. I had no idea that they were creating. But now, with the knowledge that I have about law of assumption and my thoughts and their creating, you can see very clearly the negative path that I was on. And I just, had the doctor right there in the office almost repeating word for word what those thoughts were, in my mind. Something's wrong. And then, of course, as I began to change my thinking, just out of a passion for what I wanted to see, it turned around. Things were fine, and he ended up being just fine. And I had a few things, to kind of take away from that. Number one is that, yes, we're always manifesting. That's what we do, because we are creators. And there's no on-off switch. You don't get to turn it off today, turn it on tomorrow. It's always happening because your mind is always working. It's always thinking. So when you can really settle yourself in that knowledge, why not make it work for you? Because you can create those thoughts to be positive, and it will work for you. And the second point would be that we just go with the flow, because we can't deny what's going on in our 3D reality. We can't just push it aside and pretend like it's not there. So, I had to go through all of the appointments. I had to do what the doctor recommended. I had to do what was responsible. I couldn't just ignore it. All the time, though, keeping my end goal in mind. He will be okay. Things will work out, because we're human beings. That's why we're here. So you have to live life through the 3D. You have to experience it. You don't have to agree with what's showing up, and that's where your thoughts come in. You change those thoughts, but you still go through the day-to-day routine, and you don't deny it, because we have to deal with things. We have to deal with what shows up. And then the last one is, don't be so attached to an outcome that maybe you're throwing other things out that could be helpful. So I remember during that time, I would think, maybe it's medication, maybe it's a procedure, maybe it's surgery, whatever we need to do. The end goal is he's going to be fine. He'll be okay. And sometimes if we just become so insistent that it's going to be one way and only one way, well, then we've created resistance. We've backed ourselves into a corner, put ourselves into a box, and we've actually limited what might show up, bringing us the answer. So, allow yourself to be open to whatever way your answer is going to come for you.
Exactly. And you know what? I've got a really good story, actually, a couple stories about that. So, I mean, our thoughts create, and we have other thoughts in play that are already out there. So when we're not actually attached to the outcome, so if we say, okay, look at, what, I want this to happen and it's got to happen this way, or else, and sometimes what we do is we deem ourselves failures because it didn't happen the exact way that we wanted it to. But the thing is, right, is we have other thoughts in play that our intention sometimes has to work around. So for example, I wanted to find money on the ground. It was in my little list of manifestations, right? But I also have a story that nobody carries cash these days. It's always plastic, right? So when I was actually at the bank parking lot after hours, there was nobody there. I was going to the bank machine to deposit a check because I manifested checks in the mail, Anyway, and I saw a grocery store gift card on the ground. And I was like, well, either someone threw it out because there's no money on it, or maybe it accidentally fell out of their wallet. I'm like, either way, I'm just going to pick that up and take it into the grocery store and see if there's any money on it. Well, I totally forgot about it. Fast forward 6 months, actually, Valentine's Day, I was buying Andrew flowers to surprise him. And I just happened to be in that grocery store. And I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I remembered the gift card. So then I pull out the gift card and I say to the lady, can you just check this? Like, see if there's any balance left on it. And half expecting it to actually be nothing. I mean, I didn't care either way, right? And all of a sudden she was like, oh yeah, I paid for the flowers and there was like money left over. Like it was a $200 gift card. I was like,
wow.
oh my goodness. So there is an example where, if I was so attached to it being cash bills,
Yes.
that it probably wouldn't have happened because I already have the story that nobody carries cash. I don't even carry cash. Another really good example of this was, you guys all know that I manifested some bad health early last year. And I totally did it. I remember I was intending to lose weight. And for like years ago when I was younger, I'm like, I can never lose weight unless I get really sick. Well, guess what happened? I got really sick because that was my story. So I went and I changed my story and I said, no, I'm going to be healthy. Now, I totally could have said, I'm going to be healthy. And the only way it's going to happen is I'm going to heal myself because I'm this powerful creator. But let's be honest, I was like, well, I'm like, maybe I got to take pills. And then so the doctor, he prescribed me some pills to help my stomach. And that was great. And then I said, you know what? My stomach's going to get really good after I take these pills for a couple months and I'm going to be okay. Because my path of least resistance was, okay, I'm more believable in the placebo effect of the pills than I am of actually believing that I could just miraculously cure myself, even though it's entirely possible.
Right.
So we work within our beliefs and everything like that, right? And I mean, now I'm perfectly healthy. I don't even need to take the pills. It's just like Tylenol. I remember I talked to a pharmaceutical rep years ago and she says, they don't even know how it works. And I'm like, that's right. I stick it in my mouth. My headache's gone just right after I swallow those pills, not more than 2 minutes later. Okay. So it wasn't the pills. It was the belief in the pills working. So there's nothing wrong. It's not a failure to, take that path or to create things like I remember I knew this girl and she would use this roller thing. And she's like, I lose weight just by rubbing this on myself. And that was her belief. That was her placebo effect. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. The face cream doesn't work. You believe it works, so it works. But could you do it without the face cream? Absolutely. What's your belief though? Where's your strong belief? I mean, I like to take the path of least resistance. I just want my goal, and how I really get there, I'm really not too worried about, because I've seen when I coach people in the past, they're just so, it has to happen this way or else I can't prove to myself that I'm a creator. Well, there's nothing to prove. You're perfect at working. It's always working, right? So yeah, guys, so those are some really great tips. We have that it's always working for you, and you know that it's always happening, and not to ignore your 3D because that's only resisting it. So when you do get anything showing up in your 3D, just accept it and then change your story about it, right? Use it. That's feedback, right? That's feedback coming back to you. So some really excellent points here, Angela. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Great. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Goodbye.